Hey everyone, in this video we're going to be talking about portfolios, more specifically why they're important and how to actually make one. I'm going to be diving into my portfolio, breaking it down a little bit, and giving you guys some tips on how to make a good portfolio. I'm going to be talking about photography portfolios because that's what I'm most familiar with, but the same thing can apply to almost anything you're doing. So what is a portfolio? Portfolio is basically a page where you can display all your best work you've shot in the past. These can even be physical paper copies. The reason why you want a portfolio and why they're so important is because you need something to show potential clients why they should work with you. If you're reaching out to a real estate agent or a company offering your photography services, but they can't see any of your previous work, they're not going to hire you. It's as simple as that. In a field like photography, your portfolio is basically like a resume. You're going to get hired for the job only if you supply them the resume, or in this case, your portfolio, and the employer or client likes your work. Portfolios are needed everywhere, whether you're reaching out to new clients, pitching product photography services to a brand, or you're contacting modeling agencies. However, I think the majority of people know what portfolios are and why they're important. So let's talk about how to actually create one. If you're a beginner, I would highly suggest shooting photos for your family and friends and shoot for free. That way you can have photos to start adding to your portfolio. Once you have those photos, there are many ways to create a portfolio, but the way I have made mine and the way I would recommend is by using a website. So let me show you my portfolio and talk a little bit more about it. You can design your portfolio however you want. Mine is pretty simple. I'm gonna break it down to you and show you what I did. So basically, if you go to my website, this is the home page, and I created this little drop down menu when someone hovers over the word portfolio, and they have the option to choose between my portrait portfolio, my fashion portfolio, my wedding/couple portfolio, and so on. I'll explain a little bit more in the video why I do this. If someone was interested in a portrait session, they can just click on portraits and it brings them to a page filled with all of my best portraits I've shot in the past. Same thing with the fashion tab and so on. Portraits is definitely the portfolio that is built up the most, and that's just because I shoot portraits more than anything else. To build my website, I use Squarespace because it's a super easy website builder with no coding required. It's easy to upload photos and create your portfolio fast. You do have to pay to use Squarespace, but there are free website builders like Weebly, Wix, Pixieset, Square. There's so many that you can choose from to build your own portfolio. When creating your website, I'd recommend setting up a homepage welcoming clients, an about page, or maybe that can be on your homepage, a contact page so people can book you, and obviously your portfolio page. Now, when building your portfolio, don't just add every photo you've ever taken. There's some important things to keep in mind. First one being, add only your best photos. Your portfolio should be where you house all your best photos. Think of it like the photos you want to be known for. You should be carefully selecting photos that best match your current style and photos you want to be hired for. I actually just saw a post yesterday on a photography Facebook group that I'm a part of, and this photographer was hired for a wedding, and when she delivered the photos, the couple was really upset at the final results. The issue was that the couple had hired the photographer based off the photos she had on her portfolio, but the photos she had on her portfolio were months old, and she had just recently changed her editing style to a much moodier edit, as opposed to her old natural clean edits. When the couple received these moodier edits, they were super upset because it wasn't what they were expecting. So it's important to choose photos that match your current editing style so the client knows what to expect. Next tip is to consider your target audience or ideal client. What I mean by this is post photos for the service you want to get hired for. For example, if you're looking to get into wedding photography, then you should only be posting photos from couple sessions or engagement sessions you've done. Your portfolio shouldn't have car photography or automotive photography if you're looking to book more weddings. If you do shoot portraits and weddings, then I would suggest creating separate pages on your website for these two portfolios, or do what I did and create this drop down with different portfolios for the different type or style of photography you shoot. This way, whatever the clients want to see, whether that's my portrait, fashion, product photography, they can view each one separately instead of having one page where portraits and products are all mixed and scattered everywhere. Next tip is to cut back on the amount of photos that you add to your portfolio. Like I said before, your portfolio should only consist of your best photos. If you're not happy with them or you think they're inconsistent with your style, scrap them. I really like this layout I'm using for my portfolio because it only allows me to add 30 photos. So it kind of like forces me to limit the amount of photos I'm uploading and only add my best ones. Now that we're talking about adding photos, the next tip is don't use similar photos. Let me show you what I mean. If we take a look at this photo shoot I did, you can see that we shot against a plain white backdrop. All of these photos are roughly the same, nothing too interesting going on, no crazy poses, just plain digitals. Sure, we could upload 3 or 4 of these photos, but it makes you look like that lazy photographer that doesn't get much out of the session. Doesn't mean you can't post from the same session, just limit the amount of photos from that session and choose only photos that may be significantly different. Take for example this photo here from that same session and this photo here. Both from the same session but different outfits and a different set. Or take for example this photo here and this photo here. Both from the same session, same set and outfit. However, it's still different because of the added prop, which in this case is the TV. What this shows is 2 different styles of portrait photography. Now, don't get me wrong, if you look at my portfolio, I do have some photos that are similar, like this one and this one. Sometimes I will add 1 or 2 of the same photos if the photos are really good or convey some type of emotion, or I just get a lot of feedback from people really liking that photo. The last tip is to get feedback from friends and family or other photographers. It's very easy for us to get attached to our photos and think that angle or pose or editing was really good, and that's because we're the ones who created it. So having a second opinion or someone who can critique your photos is always good to have. I'm so happy to have a friend group of other photographers that I can share my work and portfolio to anytime, and they'll give me an honest critique of what they do and don't like. Make sure to always update your portfolio. I find that with every shoot I do, I continue to improve and get better and better, and that's because my best photo last year is not the same as it was 6 months ago, last month, or even last week. I'm always improving, and it's important to show that on your portfolio. With that being said, if you are a beginner photographer who is just starting out and you want me to critique your photos, portfolio, website, answer your photography questions, talk about the photography business, I offer a one-on-one photography mentorship, which is basically a 1-hour Zoom call with me where I help you grow and become a better photographer. If you're interested in booking a call with me, I'll leave a link down in the description below. If you enjoyed this video and you got something useful out of it, make sure to leave a like on this video, hit that subscribe button to see more photography content, and hit that bell to be notified when I post a new video. We'll see you in the next one.